We're doing a little Tantrum talks, not talks, that's one of our other segments. This is the What's on the Table segment, and we've got a bunch of stuff on this table as well as a bunch of stuff behind us. We're going to be playing through and talking about like 12 different games today, I think. So hop on board, we're going to go back and forth a bunch. I actually don't know who's starting us off. It looks like we're talking about...
Will and Sarah.
What are we talking about?
The first game we're talking about is Finger Guns.
We're jumping in.
From Indie Boards and Cards.
Let me peek in for 1 second and talk about a giveaway we're going to do. Yeah.
Do we have that giveaway here somewhere?
Probably on a table, and one of the tables in the room. One of the things that we're going to be doing today is giving away a copy of Guardian's Call from... Is it Skybound or is it... Okay, Skybound, just want to make sure. So stick around later in the show because we're going to be giving away this shiny shrink-wrapped edition. But yeah, we're going to hop back and forth a bunch, cover a bunch of games here, a bunch of games back there, and now I think we might be ready to jump in.
Well, how are we giving away? What do people need to do?
You have to hang around and wait. That's how the...
Just comment.
You'll find out later in the show. And if you are joining us this morning, we do want to interact with you guys as well, so some of us will have our phones out for some commenting action, and I think it's okay. I give you permission. If you want to have us in one window, I think James Hudson is doing one. You can watch his live, maybe Unfiltered Gamer. So just have all 3 windows up. Keep the volume on ours.
Yeah, just watch ours.
All right, so now we might be ready. What are we talking about first, Sarah?
All right, our first game we are going to look at is Finger Guns from Indie Boards and Cards. This is a 3 to 6 player party game. If you think it's kind of a mashup of Bang and what's the other one?
Rock, Paper, Wizard.
Rock, Paper, Wizard. Thank you, Ryan. Everybody has a little health card, and there are only 6 different hand motions. So I think it kind of fixes some of the issue of I haven't looked at all the cards in Rock, Paper, Wizard because a new one comes out every turn. In this one, you just have these 6. There is Posse that if the majority of people all do Posse, then everyone else gets -5 health. You can gain health by going to the saloon. You can put up a 2, 3, or 4, and that gains health for you if you are the only one to do that number. You can shoot people and have them lose health. You can lasso. There's a deck of cards that has specific powers. Some of them are instant and some of them are ongoing. So you can gain some allies to help you. There is dynamite. What dynamite is this?
Yeah.
It hurts you 1 health for setting it off, but then it does -3 to each player. And then there is the power shot. Which does
Shotgun to the face.
-6. So to start
So are we actually gonna play?
We'll play a couple,
All right, let's do it.
turns. Whoever says 3, 2, 1, draw.
Is that it? That was the
Yeah.
rule? You can't explain the rules.
Whoever randomly says it will get the sheriff's badge for that round, and then they may not say it again. But it's just random at whoever does it.
Do you guys all have your health counters? I think we should start at like 10.
We need one more.
Okay, 1 more health counter.
I got
There you go.
We all have.
We're gonna start at 10.
Yeah, we'll start at 10. See if we can get through an entire game. I think we can do it in like 2 quick rounds. Are you guys actually ready?
Yeah.
Wait, 2 quick rounds? You are thinking power shot each time? Did you see it gets canceled though if you get injured by dynamite
3,
or
2,
shot?
1, go! All right, poor Katie.
Did y'all talk about that beforehand?
No, just while you were talking, I was like, hey, everybody, we're gonna do it.
So you resolve them in order.
Okay.
So first we do the posse, and everybody who didn't do posse loses 5 health.
Sorry, that's you,
Katie.
Katie.
Then,
So move your health counter down
nobody
5.
did saloon. Katie did shot. Who were you
She
shooting?
shot me, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I was
So
shooting.
loses
2 health
2.
loss. All right. So I said 3, 2, 1. I get the sheriff badge. I can't say it next time. Somebody else has to say
Yeah,
it.
we did.
Oh, and we should have an
okay.
ally.
Somebody wanted
Our
to get
ally
an
is gain a health when any player gains the sheriff badge. So that's the keeper that we have out right now.
Somebody has to say 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, draw. Oh.
Okay, you didn't get nothing. No, don't even. Too slow. All right,
I didn't know. I thought we were fighting over the badge.
Sarah.
Well, I don't know. Yours is dynamite.
I love Sarah. I mean, I want to hang loose with Sarah. That's a good point. Okay, so me and Ryan each take 1 shot for blowing ourselves up, but then the people beside us, which are Katie and Sarah, in both cases,
they take
6.
Twice. 3
I'm dead.
Oh, there we go. All
But-
right, so Katie becomes a ghost.
each. So you
Oh, I'm
flip
a
it
ghost.
over, and you can do those.
Check that
actions.
out.
My goodness.
So there's a saloon action where you can't gain health, but you can prevent somebody else from getting health. Because if you ever show the same sign as somebody else, they don't get the health.
Same with lasso.
You can still shoot somebody, and you can lasso to prevent someone from getting the ally.
And Sarah tried to shoot me in the face with a shotgun, but because she got hit by the dynamite first, it doesn't work. You can only do the super shot if you don't get hit by anything else.
What was yours?
Who said this? Was it
She
Ryan?
won't do it.
Oh, you
I didn't realize we were doing it
Oh,
now.
you said it? Okay. 3, 2, 1, shoot.
What is this?
Lasso means you would get the card, except for you're dead, so you can't get the card. Good try. Sarah gets shot by 2.
I think I'm dead.
Are you 2? Are you
I'm
dead?
dead.
Well, you get shot by 2, and then
says-
that means you don't get to. Oh yeah, nice. And then you're dead too. All right, I think me and Ryan just share the victory.
Yeah, because once it goes down to just 2 or fewer, then the game's over.
Wait, and then,
Yeah, it is. That's right.
and then y'all win?
Because we are the Wild
Yeah.
West finger gun.
If there are no
champions.
survivors, all current ghosts win. So you could
It
have
is
still won by
possible.
eliminating.
But if you up by saying it really quick.
It is possible to win as a ghost.
So that is finger guns. We've had some fun with it, Eddie.
Oh, man.
Y'all did
some
it
of the
too
different-
fast.
That's how you do it. And some of the different cons that we've been going to, it's a really easy one to pick up, jump into, play, because everything is written on the card and it goes just that fast. Obviously, you can go to 20 health, which would make your game a little bit longer, but all the games we've played have been 15 minutes, I think, at the most. So a lot of fun, little simple in-the-box game. Check out Finger
Yeah,
Guns.
this
at
one
High
I think definitely replaces Bang and maybe even Rock, Paper, Wizard. I don't
It
know.
is
Words.
easier to play than Rock, Paper, Wizard. Rock, Paper, Wizard's still my preferred version. But
Very cool.
Cool stuff.
Very cool.
All right, I think we're ready to jump back to Kevin and Melissa and see what they've got on the table.
Hey, we're looking at Incubation from Synapses Games. I believe Luma Imports is bringing this to the US, and this will be at Gen Con. And this is a dice rolling resource gathering game. Tell us a little bit more about it, Melissa.
Well, it's for 2 to 5 players, and basically we are trying to hatch dragons and get treasure. And what's going to happen on your turn, you roll the 2 dice, and you see what the options are on the die.
results?
The results, yes. I can speak. I'm only halfway through my cup of coffee, so... you do have the option to re-roll,
re-roll.
both dice
Go for
or
it.
one of them if you're trying to get a specific thing.
So what happens now?
And so my dice right now show from being able to hatch this egg. And then the dice would pass
so
to Kevin.
I would roll and I'd be like, oh, I don't like that, so I'm going to re-roll again. So I get a water and a coin. So I would do the same thing, and basically you go turn after turn. The treasure chests do have something interesting, because if one is rolled out of the 2 dice, then you actually start rotating that dial.
Right. So if it out more fire and coins and water, and then if you roll 2 treasure chests,
Which I did earlier.
you can take all of the tokens from one spot on the board, and eventually they're going to end up getting lots of things on them. When you finally fill up your incubation on your egg, you get to turn it over, and then you have a dragon that has hatched, and you're wanting to collect dragons to fulfill objectives. So for some of these objectives, you need several dragons of the same color.
And you need coins for a lot of things too.
And basically you keep playing until either 2 stacks of eggs are gone or all of the objectives are gone. So you can, throughout the game, get more eggs. You're trying to do a bit of set collection for it.
Yeah, I would say this is a family game, lightweight, because it's definitely luck with the dice rolling. It's nice to have a little risk mitigation with, you get to re-roll the dice ones, one or both. But other than that, I mean, it's cute. You're trying to hatch the dragons. I almost said dinosaurs. Dragons. We're going to talk about dinosaurs later in this episode.
Yes, there are lots of, the illustrations are pretty nice. I would say definitely lightweight. I had a few rounds where all I needed was 1 fire.
Yep. So it
And
sounds,
it took like 3 rounds for me to roll a fire.
sounds like we have some audio issues with the Meeple Cam, so we'll keep working on that. So, all right. Going back to the couch.
Under the camera? I thought I was playing a game of Hex Roller.
No, you're doing the
We
camera.
change on you, Will.
All right,
We need
cool.
a camera to show the
Meeple cam action.
All right, so this is
Hex
Hex
Roller.
Roller from Renegade. This one is a Rollin Right game. I'm gonna give a paper to Melissa. In the game, you have 8 dice. The player boards are double-sided, and one is set up to play with only 7 dice, so it's a little bit harder. And then one side is set up for 8. You can play a slightly easier game. In the game, you're gonna roll the dice, and you will lay out the numbers in sets of matching numbers. So you'll put all the 6s together and all the 5s together. And these dice aren't just D6s, they are mixed a little. So some of them are numbers, have lower numbers, and some of them have higher numbers. So I think they go through 3 through 8. It's like 2, yeah.
2 or 3 through 8.
Yeah. So it's not just normal D6s. In the game, you will pick one set to place on your board, and you will write down, you have to chain all of that number that you pick. So I would probably pick the 6s because I rolled 3 of them. In the game, you will make a chain of those numbers. So I might start here and do a 6 and a 6 and a 6. You get bonuses.
That's the same place I was gonna go because this is both players are using the same dice.
Yes. You get a bonus at the end of the game if you can connect 2 sets of the numbers and make a chain to connect them. You also, the numbers that you usually, you'll pick one number and then you'll pick another set of numbers. So I picked 6s the first time. I might pick a 5 the second time. So I might do this, a 5 and a 5. And then there's this little area at the bottom that has these 2 rows. You will put one number in one row and one in the other. And as scoring at the end, if you can have all 6 of the numbers in that row, then you will score a bonus. It gets multiplied however many you can get. That's another way to score bonuses in the game.
So yeah, it's a quick game. It has kind of that spatial element of trying to get the right numbers in the right spots, and you can mess yourself up pretty easily because, oh, I only need 2 more 5s, 3 5s rolled. I'm gonna have to put that 5 somewhere else. You can't split them. You have to put them in a line, or you get points for filling up a entire little honeycomb cell. They're different colors, and whatever number is most prevalent in that cell is what you're gonna score. So you're trying to put high numbers, but if you end up not having one of the spaces filled, then you don't score that cell. So it's definitely planning out how you're gonna use it, and then you're thinking, oh, do I wanna get the score for having all of the numbers in my row? Then I have to use this die, or do I want to forget that and try to get more points on the board? So yeah,
this one also plays at a higher player count. You can play, it has solo rules, and you can play up to 8 players, which is nice because a lot of the Rollin Rights coming out may just play at 4, or some of them are playing just at 2. So this one, if you have a bigger group, you can all play together.
Yeah, and there are a few special bonuses that you can take. If you don't take them, they're worth points at the end, but it gives you a little bit more variability and ability to, you know, fix some things, or try to take another set of dice, or put a number somewhere where you need to fill a column or a comb, whatever, hexagon.
Yep, so that is Hex Roller from Renegade.
All right, we are going to take a look at Bubble Tea from Renegade Game Studios. This is a game that you can play 2 different ways, but the basic idea of the game is you are mixing drinks by first getting the right base to your drink, either black tea, green tea, milk tea, or coffee, and then you use these transparent cards to get just the right amount of each ingredient showing. And the ingredients are unique. I forget what the names are, but they're like half animal, half ingredient. So here's something that looks sort of like an ice cube, and it's also a fish. It's a lot of fun. So let me just tell you the 2 ways to play. One way to play is with these dice, and the goal of the game is to get just 3 cards. It doesn't matter what's on them. You just get 3 and then you win. So what somebody will do is you'll shake it up.
Are we gonna actually play?
Yeah,
we should play around.
We'll play
just really fast. Okay, so shake it up, flip it over.
You'll look and see, this is the base that I want. So I look at my base cards and I pick that one.
And then we're going to try to get 4 of the little brown bears, 1 lime, 1 fish cube, and 1 cat on our piece using what is available to us. So you can rearrange and move around.
There are some rules for like ingredients can't be hanging off and that sort of thing.
Oh, how many bears?
I'm spatially disoriented. Let's see how you do this. Okay.
I think I got no.
And when you get it, you cover up the dice with your with the top of the mixer.
But yeah, so you're trying to rearrange as needed.
Okay, I think I got it. So I cover it up, and then everybody's supposed to pause. And then I reveal I have 4 of these bear-looking things, a lime, a cat, and a fish. And then I would get a card, and I have the right base, so I would get 1 card, and then I'd move on to the next round, and you try to collect 3. The other way to play is, instead of using the dice, what you do is you use these cards to do it. And you'll have a hand of these cards. You'll pick one based on its difficulty. This one has a 5, so it's it's going to be pretty hard. And then everybody will have theirs set down, and you'll all go 3, 2, 1, go. You'll reveal it, and then you have to do those same ingredients using what you have.
And then the person who's fastest with that will then get to keep their card, with the difficulty level being your points.
And then you pass the rest of your cards to the next player, and they get to use the cards you didn't use.
Yeah.
And you go through 5 rounds, and whoever gets the most points wins.
Yeah. So you could do the strategy where you're trying to get the low points because they're going to be easier and faster to do, so you get to keep them. But as I say, it's surprising sometimes how fast somebody can get a 5 done, and you're struggling still with a 1 or a 2.
All right. So the real question.
Okay.
Have you guys had bubble tea before? Like real bubble tea?
Yes.
There's a place downtown.
People are talking about. They're like, we're gonna go get some real bubble tea.
It's really good. I'm not sure what makes the bubbles. Is it like tapioca or something?
Yeah, something like that.
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Well, go get some bubble tea later today after you watch the video.
Yeah. All right. Are we
going back
ready?
over to the couch? Let's do it.
So the next game I'm going to talk about is Dr. Doctor. This is from Indie Boards and Cards, and it is a dexterity game for 2 to 5 players, and it plays pretty quickly. I'd say 20 minutes. It's a game that you could probably make the game longer or shorter, because the end goal is somebody gaining enough points. In the game, it comes with this little tray that is the operating table, and you stack all the cards on top that are all the body parts of your patient. I'll lay out here. There are 4 different types. There's a heart, there are lungs, there is the brain, and bones. And you are the surgeon, or we are going to be an intern surgeon. So it's going to be a little, Will definitely needs to be the intern surgeon. Your patient card will go on the operating table, and you must select an surgery that you are going to perform. There are cards out that have, on the back side of all of these, it has the victory points that you can gain. It also has the number of your patient's blood pressure. So those cubes get stacked on top of your patient. If these cubes get knocked over, then your patient does not make it, and the operation is not successful. So it also has what cards you will need to pull out of the stack. without your patient falling off the operating table or the blood pressure cubes getting knocked off.
I'm so bad at this game. I feel like I should have better dexterity than I do.
We are playing with the intern cubes, which are nice large wooden cubes. It also comes with the advanced cubes, so you can mix it up during the same game if you have players who are really good at it, to try and give a little bit of an advantage to those
Who's going first?
who need it. Would you like to go first?
No.
So there is a timer, so you will pick one of the goals. Let me see. There are some that are easier than others.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for this guy right here. It is 2 victory points. I need to add 1 blood pressure heart rate to him. And then I've gotta get 1 bone. That's all I gotta get? I feel like I can do this.
And you are timed. So you ready?
Let's give it a shot.
Go.
Okay, let's see if I can find an easy one. Nope. Barely.
You can touch your patient card, but
You can't touch your patient
You
card.
can touch the patient
can?
as long as he doesn't fall off the operating table.
Get over, scoot over. Just want a little bone card.
You can pick a different one if it's not coming off.
How much time I got left? Not very
You
much.
are.
That's what my surgeries usually look like. Not a surgeon. Goodness. Now, does it stay there for you to make it easier for you because I messed up?
Yeah, yes.
Although you just sorted it back in.
Yeah, I fixed
So
it.
this gets thrown away.
No, it actually stays out. Somebody else could try to perform that one. If you pull any cards out, like some of these require multiple cards. I'm going to try this surgery here. I need to pull out the lungs and the heart card.
Whew, good luck.
All right, so I'll let you do the timer
All right.
for me.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Get set. Surgify. This one definitely requires some technique. Like, I have not mastered it yet. She's able to move the whole thing without killing any blood pressure. I don't know how she does it.
There we go.
Goodness. Makes it look easy every time. Halfway
I
through.
feel like my operation skills from playing Operation.
There it
I got a little
is.
crazy. All right. So this is Doctor from Indie Boards and Cards. It plays 2 to 5, although this is a game where I think you could probably play as many
Pretty
players
infinite.
as you wanted.
As long as people have patience to take their turn.
Yeah, if you waited till it got around your turn, whoever scores 12 points wins, which is only a couple cards, depending on if you get the lower score or higher scoring cards. And it's just a fun little dexterity party game.
Yeah, very cool that it's double-sided cards and that you're using the cards. Lots of fun.
Yep, they're all different fun shapes as
Check
well.
out Doctor. Back over to the table, the operating table.
All right, Draftosaurus. This is from Ankama Games, and this is about drafting and dinosaurs.
Now, since it's a drafting game, it has special rules for 2 players, but
Maybe-
3 to 5 is best. So is there anyone who wants to come join us
Maybe
over at the
Sarah
table
or Will.
and draft some dinosaurs?
I'm always in for dinosaur
Hey.
drafting.
All
I'll
right.
get another board from the box there.
Okay. We will. The first thing that everyone does is you draw 6 dinosaurs out of the bag. So,
All right.
and keep them secret.
Now we have, while we're doing this, we actually have 2 sides of the board, and we are using just the base side. We're not using the winter side. So for this one, everyone gets, how many do we get?
6.
6 dinosaurs? All right.
Keep them secret.
One more? Keep them secret. I didn't see all those dinosaurs you had in your hands. All right. Now what, Melissa?
All right, we're gonna determine start player. I have the die.
Go for
I'll
it.
start. I roll the die, and it is going to show a kind of a location or some sort of requirement.
So,
And basically, it's saying you cannot put the dinosaur that you're going to place on your board where you have a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
well, that's good.
But this is the first round, so no one has a Tyrannosaurus Rex on their
Alright.
board yet.
Okay.
So you can put it anywhere you want.
Okay.
There's going to be different scoring for each area. There's one that says the dinosaurs have to be the same. It has a plus sign. There's one with the non-equal sign. There's non-equal, so they have to be different dinosaurs. You have an area where you want matching dinosaurs because they're in love. You have an area where any 3 dinosaurs are going to score, doesn't matter what they are. You have an area at the bottom, 1 dinosaur is going to go there, and you score points if you don't have any other of that type of dinosaur on the board. And then there's the top spot where you score if that dinosaur you have equal to or more of that type than any other player.
All right, here we go.
So
Choose a
everyone,
dinosaur.
choose a dinosaur.
Good.
Put
and
it
the,
out
The
in
cool
your-
thing is we need to show these dinosaur meeples off.
Mhm.
Oh, all right.
And then we Past the dinosaurs.
Because we're drafting them.
And we went to the right.
Draftosaurus.
It probably doesn't matter. All right. Oh,
sorry.
there's
we
going to
have
be
to
a new...
Too exciting.
Oh, man.
But we'll just...
Go counterclockwise.
It's
So,
got to go on the cup side.
cup side. So it has to go on
Except
this side
for
of the
Will.
board.
What?
We haven't explained it yet. The person who rolls the die does not have to follow the requirements.
okay.
So you can put it anywhere you
I
want.
think I want to go on that side. Okay, I'm ready.
You're welcome to.
This
Okay,
is,
good.
this is the cup side. Okay.
Cup side. So there's cup side, there's restroom side, there's forest, there's like sand area.
So then we would pass the
So,
dinosaurs,
all right.
pass the die.
We can just do one round and then we'll go back to the couch.
One round.
Restroom side.
Restroom side of the board. If you find you cannot place a dinosaur, you can always put it in the river, and it's worth 1 point in the river.
All right. Passing the dinosaurs. I get to roll this time?
Oh wait, I have to go on this side. Did it wrong. Cheating.
All right. So this one means you have to place it in the...
Oh, you know, I think I did the wrong. This is the, you can't put it where there's a
All
Tyrannosaurus
right.
Rex.
Sounds good.
The other die was it has to be an empty area.
Guess what? That wasn't
Well,
empty
it
area.
wasn't empty area.
All right. We only have 2 dinosaurs left. Oh, you're doing well.
All right.
Go for it,
Is this me?
Melissa. Roll teacup side. No! it's the
Oh, but
wrong
I don't have to
side.
follow that, so I'm gonna
Remind me
put
what this one is.
here.
7 points if I don't have any other ones like it?
Yes. Now, in the game, we
All right, last
do
dinosaur.
it...
Who's rolling? Sarah's rolling.
I lost. It has to go on this side?
Yep.
Who gave me these? What is that?
Put it up here.
Is that if I have more of that than anybody else?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll see.
And teacup
Teacup
side.
side.
Ooh, this is good.
Oh, that's good for me.
All
They
right.
have to match for me to get 5 points?
Yeah, you have to
Yes.
have 2.
And it's okay. We're just playing one round. So
Oh.
we just played one round. You would do it again. So you play a second round, and then you would count up the score.
Yep, so that there's 12 dinosaurs in your...
But right
little
now,
park.
it looks like my dinosaur park has the most T-Rexes, so all my people will die.
But he'll get points, and on this side of the board, you also get a point for every pen that has a Tyrannosaurus Rex in it. So he would score extra points for having them in.
You guys should go back to the couch and get ready.
We should.
But that is Draftosaurus. Did you mention that
Oh, yeah,
it
let's
has
look at
the
the other
other
side.
side?
If we can get a close-up of this, maybe we can get the Meeple Cam to come here. The other side is the winter side of the board, and basically you have different ways of scoring, and it has very similar ways, but just different.
And so it adds a little bit more variability to the game. Now,
Oh yeah, I was gonna say one thing that instead of having to pass the dinosaurs by hand, you could get these little like plastic muffin things, and you could pass them that way. We've seen online people like do like Easter eggs or different like different kinds of eggs. You could just find some sort of like capsule that you could pass around the table just to make it easier than trying to pass them by hand and trying to keep them secret and things like that. So
yeah, I would say Draftosaurus, it's a light game, family weight. It's quick, maybe 15 minutes
Right.
to play the whole game. It does have the chance with the die. So if you're a really, really strategic player, that could frustrate you if you have the perfect dinosaur to put in a spot, but the die doesn't roll in your favor, and then you see the person who rolled the die can do whatever they want.
Yep.
So you definitely have to go into it with this is a casual, light game that's gonna have some chance. And but if you go into it with that mindset, it's a lot of fun, and it has those really cool dinosaur meeples.
all right, back to the couch.
Hey, so next up we've got a prototype of the game Medium, which is coming out at Gen Con. We've talked about this a little bit on our podcast in the past. I think Kevin and Melissa are going to join us. It's a super fun word party game, but we're trying to sync our minds in order to score big points. What are the rules? Did I basically just say them all?
Well, we've been playing a more casual version of it because there are some rules with scoring points and crystal balls and things like that. But we've just been playing the how do the words work together.
That's the fun part. That's
Basically, each player is going to have a hand of cards with words in them.
Oh, thank you. Can I come sit
On
on
them.
this chair?
Yeah,
You may,
come sit
you're
on the
allowed.
chair. What? Come into the shot, Kevin.
Someone did ask about Draftosaurus. It will be available at Gen Con, I believe. So check that out.
All right.
I think it might already be available now. Maybe.
Okay.
I've seen other people playing it, so.
Probably other reviewers.
They might have had it at
They might
Origins.
have had
and
Origins
other
Dice Tower
places.
Fan.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is, why don't we have Will start?
Okay.
Okay.
Will, you are going to pick a card from your hand. You're gonna
Already?
lay it down.
Okay, here we go.
Then Sarah is going to pick a
Lay it
card
down.
from her hand, and you can say it out
So I
loud.
can see it.
My card is ring.
Ring.
Sarah's going to lay a card from her hand, and then they count down from 3, 2, 1, and they have to say a word that connects those two words, and they're trying to say the same word. They're trying to read each other's minds.
I'm ready.
And we'll see how this works.
Okay. My word is chip.
All right, ring and chip. What is the combination between those two? The correlation.
All right,
said
count
3,
us
2, 1?
down.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Funyun.
Yeah! I hate Funyuns. Wow. Good job. That was good. I
Yep.
didn't-
All right, so now
I was
Sarah
like,
does
a
it with
broken
you, Melissa?
diamond? I don't know.
Yes.
All right, so Sarah picks a word.
Okay.
Good job.
My word is camping.
Camping. Okay.
Melissa's word is.
Oh my.
It's always great when you have some word that like none of it makes sense, none of it goes together. What can you think of?
Just pick a word.
Okay. Antarctica.
All right, so you have to pick a word between that matches. That's close to those two words together. All right, camping in Antarctica. 3, 2, 1.
Igloo.
All right, so we got igloo
Glue.
Freeze.
and freeze. All right.
Okay.
So now we need to come up with a word between those two, and we can't use any words that are already visible. So
Alright,
we
so
have
igloos.
freeze
Freeze igloo.
and igloo.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Ice.
Yeah! Now, would you guys get fewer points because you weren't as in sync,
Correct.
or is it like we did it, we're good?
This is a prototype, obviously, so the rules are still kind of
Right.
in
But
flux
they
a
will
little
have
bit.
this available at Gen Con.
And I
so.
think there is some sort of scoring and getting
Right.
special cards and things
All
like
right, Melissa,
Okay,
pick a
very
card. Last one here, and then we'll talk about our Gen Con meetup that's happening in just a few days.
that. All right, I'm gonna go with England.
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 Okay.
And
We'll see how this goes.
Oh.
what do you got? What are you gonna pick? Should
Trying
we
to
get
think.
extra cards? over there? He's working real hard to get like Sherlock as the answer. I can tell. He's already like, which one of
Sherlock,
these can
Doctor
we say?
Who. There's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
choices.
yeah.
Well, he's
I don't
got
know.
the Beaker Street shirt on. North.
England and North.
Okay, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
Big
London.
Ben.
Hey, London and Big Ben are in the same city. I'm pretty sure London is not in the north. But it's the only thing I can think of. All right,
Okay.
so Big Ben in London. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh. Peter Pan.
Oh, Peter Pan was a good one. All right, Sherlock Holmes, Peter Pan. Ready?
Okay.
Go again.
3, 2, 1.
Doctor
Fictional.
Who. Oh, fictional. That was like another one. All right, well, we lost.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in
Wow.
sync this morning. Saturday mornings are hard.
I think I won.
Good job, Will.
Talk about our meetup.
So, Gen Con meetup. If you'll be there, we'd love to hang out with you Saturday night at 10 p.m. in the CGE room. That will be in room, I think, 237.
237.
So-
It's on the second floor of the convention center. There's a escalator and stairways right kind of in the middle. I think it's by entrance I or
Yeah.
H or I to the main exhibit hall. There's stairs up there. It's right next to the Rio Grande.
Right, and so we're partnering with, or we're sort of doing this in conjunction with Board Game Spotlight, and of course CGE is sponsoring it, letting us use the room, so we're really excited about that. So we'll play some games, hang out, talk, and see how Gen Con's going, but we'd love to see you there.
Yeah, come hang out with me, Kevin, Melissa, Derek, and Lizzie.
Yeah.
And have a blast. We'll be looking forward to that. Are we ready to jump back to the next
Well,
one
let's
on
see if
the
there's
table?
any comments.
Oh,
real
just
quick
kidding, good
before,
idea.
but-
Yeah,
We could also
and-
get closer to talking about how we're
Yeah.
giving away our prize. showing what that
and
is,
Will,
but-
you'll probably need to take the camera from Katie so she can be back there.
Why don't you go do that? We'll
Good
talk
idea.
about, like, see here, Dinosaur Meeples, Funyun. Someone said Funyun.
Awesome.
All
I'm glad
right.
you guys are playing along. We should have gone
Jason
slower.
says that Medium is their daughter's #1 game to buy at Gen Con.
Yeah,
So Medium's
very fun.
going to be fun.
Yeah,
So,
Greater Than Games, I believe, is going to have medium.
And yes, thank you for noticing our t-shirts. We decided to just go off script and not do Tantrum House, so
More geekdom than on brand.
How many players can play Draftosaurus? This question by Timothy.
Draftosaurus is 2 to 5 players. There are some modified rules for 2 players, and at each player count, you take out a certain number of dinosaurs, so there's always the same ratio. Like there's always 6 yellow, 6 red, or the same number. It may be 4 or 10,
right.
But you'll always know that each dinosaur has the same ratio in the bag.
Very cool. Well, back to the table.
Hey.
Alright, so we are going to be talking about Everyone Loves a Parade.
By Calliope.
Yes, by Calliope. This game is all about trying to win the crowd's favor and basically just please the crowd with what they're expecting to see. So you're going to be building a float, and as you go by the crowd, you're going to be getting points for how well you have met their expectations. So what you've got here is this crowd here is going to be wanting to see red balloons. This crowd is wanting to see blue flags, and we're going to be taking turns drafting those cards. As you draft cards, like this is specifically red balloons, or you've got yellow flowers and blue flowers, but those cards also let you take an action, and those actions will influence dice. They'll add dice, you can move dice around, and that's going to really change up how you get the points. So the red balloons here are worth 4 points. These are worth 5, and so on. As you go along, you'll be pulling more cards out, scoring your victory points at the end, and you each have an order card. So at the end, you get to choose which crowd you're playing up to.
Order cards give you a kind of bonus point for that round, but they also determine in what order you will select your float.
So the higher the card is, the better the ability is, but you get to choose last. So this is number 8. You get to draw an additional card and add it to your float, which is really nice, but probably getting to go last in turn order. Ryan had 5, so he would be able to choose first which crowd he wanted to score for. So that's basically how the game goes. The dice actions here really do change up a lot of the way this game works. We played the other night, and the dice just loved me, and I ended up just kind of creaming everybody.
Yeah. Each player gets 3 turns per round, so you try to collect the 3 best cards you can, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time to do a round? Let's do a round.
Okay.
All right. So let's pick new order cards, because
Okay.
those are randomly dealt each time.
Yes, and you know ahead of time that's what you're working with, and you might get something really good or you might
And you
not.
keep them secret.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, I don't remember who goes first.
I'm going to look at this and correct color and the correct item. So if you're meeting both of those expectations, you're getting double points.
I'm going to do the blue balloons.
They'll end up canceling each other out. Well, not canceling each other out, but
And
one die will just get removed because it's just an additional one.
yellow. I'm going to put that yellow here.
Okay. I'll take blue balloons, and I get to just flip this over to something I'm interested
To the side of
in.
your choice.
I'm gonna do
Flowers.
flowers.
Oh. Well, in that case, that actually helps me, because she can't select anymore. But I can select red flowers, which is going to give me more points than if I had picked balloons or a blue flower. And
Okay.
another one comes out. Oh, and I get to do something. What does this do?
You get to turn.
You may
something
re-roll a
in.
die showing the balloon face, then return it to its crowd card. I'll leave it there, because
Okay.
you may re-roll.
All
So
right.
now we reveal our order. I was 1.
Oh no!
So I placed first. So I place here. And my red flower and blue balloons, they all score all of their points. So 2 and 2, 4 and 4, and 6 and 6. So 12, 8, and 4 is 24. So I move up to 24.
I think you just creamed me.
Pow.
I get to roll a new die and add it to the crowd.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think I'm gonna roll.
You want a red?
Red. I got yellow instead, so that didn't work out for me at all.
Yeah, but you still do get points from these.
Yes,
This one scores
I just get
both.
like half of
So
what I read.
4 and 4 is 12. And then you would go on to the next round and have new order cards. And you go through 3 rounds. Each one's going to be different. Some of the cards do different things. And
Yeah, and
like
with
this one has 2 symbols from the get-go.
Oh, 3.
So, yeah, that's what I was trying to
Anyway, so this is just a quick look at Everyone Loves a Parade. Back over to the couch.
Hey everybody, we are looking at Trapwords from CGE. This is a team versus team game, so Sarah and I aren't actually going to be able to play it, but we will give you a rundown of how it works and kind of some examples. And this is a game that's going to be available for purchase at Gen Con, and I think it's already available at retail. Basically, I kind of think of this as kind of like Taboo, except the person giving the clues doesn't know which words they can't say. So what's going to happen is each team is going to get a little booklet and a card that has a bunch of words on it. And the team's going to choose one of the words. There's a little slot in each booklet. Now, I think it's kind of cool. The brown booklets are going to have kind of game and role play, fantasy type words, and then the gray booklet is going to have more ordinary type words, and there's 2 of each, so each team could have the same color. And for my team, I'm going to look at this word, and then I'm going to write a number of trap words. And the number of words that I write down is equal to whatever space the other team is on, because I'm going to be giving this booklet to the other team, and this is going to be their word that they have to get their teammates to guess. So if I'm red team and Sarah's blue team, I'm going to write down 3 words that would trap the clue giver for this word. And maybe we'll try it and people in the background can try to answer, and you can try to answer at home. So I'm gonna write down 3 words for this one, and Sarah, you're gonna write down 3 words for that one. Okay.
It's quiet on set.
There are, of course, rules on what you're allowed to write, and there are rules on what you're allowed to guess. Whoever is guessing can only guess 5 times. So it's not just blurt out as many answers as possible. You can only make 5 guesses, but whoever's giving the clue can say as much as they want. So it's not just one word clues to your team. It's you can say sentences and stuff, but you just cannot say those trap words. And there's rules like you can't say it rhymes with such and such. They're like those types of rules. Let me finish writing now.
Okay.
You can.
All right.
So I'm gonna read.
Do you want to be the clue giver?
I'll be the
for
clue
this
giver.
one?
So I am gonna try to get somebody to guess this.
Trying to get me to
but I
guess
don't know
What words you can't say.
what's gonna happen to me if I say a word.
Then you lose.
No! Are you trying to make me lose, or are we on
Yes.
a team?
You
No.
2 are on a team.
We are on a
Ryan
team.
and I are on a
We're
different
on a
2
team.
teams.
Let's do it.
This sounds hard. Okay.
There's a timer. So you ready?
Sure. Let's go.
All right.
This is a theme of a game where you have little meeples that go out and tend to animals,
Like a worker placement?
kind of, but they specifically are like going out and tending animals and growing things.
Grow.
So do I keep going? What happened?
No,
I lose? It was agriculture.
Agriculture.
I was trying to get you to go.
Agricola.
Yeah, well,
I was
figured
thinking that, but I was like,
Agricola.
that's not on there. Okay. All right.
Okay,
Here's
that
our
was
one.
really
We gotta write
hard.
one more clue.
Ryan, do you want to give clues or
Sure,
guess?
I'll give clues.
Okay, so once they're done, they're gonna hand the booklet to you. It's the brown booklet, so we know that it's gonna be like fantasy or kind of role-playing, dungeon-y type
Oh, so I don't know the trap words.
No.
No, you
You don't know which words you can't say, so you're thinking what words
What
might
did we write
they
down?
have.
There are 3 words you are not allowed to say.
Okay,
All right, ready?
sure.
Go.
So when you are traveling and there is a body of water flowing and you have to...
Bridge.
Okay, that's part of it. Am I allowed to say that it's part of it? Okay.
Ish.
So you want to proceed over the body of water, but the thing that you use to proceed over has a conveyance which brings it up.
Drawbridge.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I don't want to say castle or moat or...
What were the trap words?
Yeah.
Castle, door, and moat.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
All right, so what would happen at this point is, we're the red team because I love red. So we would advance to the next room in the castle. Blue team did not advance, so you stay where you are. But there is a little bit of a
Agriculture was hard.
catch-up mechanism. So there are curses in certain rooms.
Oh no. So y'all got that.
Ryan and
Good for
I
y'all.
are cursed with the Scribble Frenzy. Your opponents can list up to 10 trap words,
Oh snap.
but they must take turns and they have a time limit. Start their timer when they read the word. So basically, what would happen if, I don't know if we're gonna go another round or not, we might need to move on. So once they choose their word, we're gonna flip the timer and they have to take their paper back and forth, but they can write 10 words or as many as they can get before the timer runs out. Normally, they would just write 4 words because we're in the room with 4.
I see that.
Yep, and there's a monster that has like a certain, the goal of the game is to kind of beat the monster. So if both of us had failed on our words, the monster would advance down and things happen when you meet the monster. It says on the card, there's lots of different ones. So it's a little bit more than just the word game aspect. There's also the traveling through the dungeon, and as you get farther in, there are a lot more trap words. So if there's like 6 words that you can't say, it gets much more difficult, and you're like, oh, what are they?
No, I failed at 3 words.
So a bit of mind games going on there.
Yep. This one, you need 4 minimum to play, but you can play any number after that since it's just 2 teams and people can guess freely. So you only get 5 guesses, so you might have to talk amongst yourselves what your guess is, but you can play more than 8.
So that is trap words from CGE. I think, am I back at the table?
Come on back here, Melissa.
Back to the table.
We are going to be talking about Brikks. This is from Stronghold Games. They brought it over from overseas from Schmidt Games, and this is a Rollin Right game. We actually are playing our own Rollin Right version of Tetris. So if you're familiar with Tetris, this game you can pick up very quickly. Basically, on your turn, you roll the dice, and you're looking at these 4-sided die for the number that's showing, and that's going to tell you what column to go on, and then the color tells you what kind of piece you can actually place in your, I don't know what this is called, arena?
Yeah, it's your tableau, your
tableau,
player board.
your player board. So,
And it has a very arcade, like old school arcade aesthetic to it. Yes, let us know when we can start showing what happens on the board.
yes. All right,
right.
so basically, so here's the 4 and the white. So I would look at column 4, and I would have to draw this piece on my board. Now, I could just I basically have to do like regular Tetris rules, and I just place it there on the board. The nice thing is I probably should have placed it over here because if I had covered that white, then I get sort of bonuses as the game goes along.
Yeah, you're kind of filling an energy bar, and you can use energy to move a column. Say he really wanted this one instead of the 4, you can use an energy to move each space in the column you want to move. Then you are using an energy. You can use 5 energy to pick any shape that you want. But you're trying
to complete rows. So it's going to get you points. It's going to give you I think it's 1 point. If you can do all the roll, it's 5 points. If you're missing 1 square, then it's 2 points and then 1 point. So. And
then you also get bonuses if you can complete several rows with 1 piece. So you're getting to do bonus points down in this section.
And if you can start moving up in the in your tableau, then you're actually gonna get double points, and the top row, if you can fill that in, you're also gonna get like quadruple points. So
it really did feel a ton like Tetris, and I grew up playing a bunch of Tetris on my original Game Boy, even before the color Game Boy.
That's right. And you do have some bombs that you can use that if you don't use them, you'll get points, but if you do use them, you can basically say, I'm not going to place a tile this round.
Yeah,
so.
And like most Rollin Rights, when you roll, this is affecting every player. So every single player is going to do the 2 black unless they use their energy to move to a different column. So it's very quick. There's very little downtime because you're playing on everyone's roll.
There's lots of good like highs and lows because if you're like saying roll a 4 white or whatever, you're like cheering for them and. Or roll a 3 white and I can make it a 4 white or something like that.
Yeah, and you can also choose to re-roll a die.
Right.
So that is Brikks. It's pretty quick. It is very spatial. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Tetris on paper is basically what you're looking at for this, and it's from Stronghold Games.
All right, I think they're going to go play the dexterity game over at the couch.
Yeah, so we are going to be looking at Kushi.
I think it's Kushi.
Kushi?
But don't know, because I'm
Kushi.
not from
Kushi.
Japan.
Kushi. Kushi. It is from
Mandoo.
Mandoo Games. Maybe somebody else should have just pronounced everything. All right. But this is a dexterity game. We are going to be flipping over cards, and then we are going to be putting these little ingredients on skewers. We're basically like competing little food stands.
Everybody has one of each ingredient. There's a meat and a shrimp, a tomato and a pepper, and then there are strips of bacon and cheese. And the way you play is you have to arrange them on your skewer exactly like the card shows. So for this one, you would just do one of each in the right order. So that's pretty simple. But then some of the cards are more intricate. Like this one, you have to wrap it completely with cheese. And then if you were to do this card, you have to interlayer this bacon among 2 of the ingredients. And it has to be just so when you lay it down. So when you have your skewer ready, you throw it on the plate and you shout out, "Bon appetit." And then everybody checks to see if you were right. If you are right, you get the card, I believe, and the points from it. If you're wrong, you are just out for the round and everybody else gets to try to complete it. So, there's also 2 additional cards, which are important to know. This card, everybody has to stand up and shout out Kushi to sort of advertise your street vendor cart. And then this card is hidden into the last 6 cards of the deck, and when this one shows up, the game is over.
Yes. So we're going to demonstrate a couple of rounds. This may go terribly wrong. I don't know.
There is a little bit of a handicap. I think the oldest player starts with flipping, but then from there on, whoever won the round, they have to leave their skewer on the plate and flip and then retrieve their skewer and pull everything off. So
the fastest player doesn't always necessarily win.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a handicap to help everybody else try to catch up.
All right.
So I'm the oldest player. So I get to flip the first card.
Get my skewer.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm shaking too
I'm
much.
Wait a minute.
No, did that wrong.
No, me too. Oh man.
Hard to wrap items.
Oh, wait a minute.
I would not make it in
No.
the culinary.
Bon appetit.
Oh,
Oh.
Sarah.
So,
Almost done.
Yeah, that
Now.
looks like it's correct.
Um,
Except you have an air gap there.
Well,
Well,
it moved
I
a
don't
little
think that
bit. It was
counts.
still on the skewer.
all right.
Okay.
So Sarah
So
gets
I
that
Sarah
one,
gets 5 points.
My thing stays there.
and then you get to flip the next
I
card
do.
over for us.
Oh
All right.
man, that's gonna make.
Let's do it.
All right.
If it's easy, you guys are gonna get it. Ready? Go.
Okay. I should
These are
not bother
super
with
fun
this.
components.
I know these are like squishy little components.
I got it in my mind that I should hold my skewer the whole time, and I think that is a mistake.
I'm done. Oh, bon appetit.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yes, it is correct. Even to the point that the top has the cheese folded over the top and at
yes.
the bottom. Like
Yeah.
there are details in this beyond just. Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
Good job.
So,
Good job.
all right, here we go. Next, you ready?
Let's do it.
Oh man. All right.
What's the penalty? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think there's a penalty.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is.
But
Where's the
anyway,
rules?
that's basically how you play with the bacon, the cheese, these like squishy little components that are really fun. And yeah, it's just a fun dexterity game. It's not really timed per se, except for, you know, competing against the other players. So that is Kushi from
Kushi Express from Mandoo Games.
Kushi Express. All right.
Let's
so-
go back to the table.
Melissa and I are big fans of Ticket to Ride from Days of Wonder, and they've, of course, put out many, many versions. One of the newest versions that came out last year was Ticket to Ride New York, which is a small box version. This is Ticket to Ride London. Melissa and I are big fans of London and England. Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes and all the characters there, and Peter Pan if you were listening earlier. But Ticket to Ride London is their next small box game. And if you play Ticket to Ride New York, well, I guess we can just give a brief overview of what's new in the small box series.
So both New York and London are quick games. They're 2 to 4 players, and they play in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, super
so
quick.
a lot shorter than your normal Ticket to Ride game. And basically it has a lot of the same elements. You have your cards, your colored cards. You have your destination tickets, so you're trying to get to specific routes. In this one, the components are pretty cool because you have double-decker buses instead of trains, and New York had taxis. The new thing with this game is you get points if you connect an entire district. A district is going to be the same number, color, so if...
Yeah, so if Red was able to connect like this, so they have all the blues here, then at the end of the game, they would get 3 extra points. And here they would get 2 extra points in green, 5 extra points in red, 1 extra point for black, and then the yellow section for 4. So very, very simple version of Ticket to Ride. I'd say it's probably more like Ticket to Ride, the US version, the base map with just this added on. If you've never played any of the small box versions before, but yeah.
Yeah, and so I think the components are pretty cool with the double-decker buses.
Oh, and even the cards.
The cards, if you look at them, they have a milk truck, they have a yellow submarine, they have the Rocket Man car, so a lot of throwbacks, a lot of kind of inside jokes.
I think this is the taxi. Their taxi is pretty famous.
the
and
black...
the black taxi, yep.
So, Ticket to Ride London, a very quick version, very similar to Ticket to Ride New York, just with a little different with the districts. Instead of New York has sites that you're trying to see and you get points for visiting those. But if you're a fan of Ticket to Ride, you like the shorter versions. It is pretty tight though, so it can be easy to get your routes messed up because there's not that many ways to get to them. But you know, I get to visit Big Ben, Buckingham Palace.
Piccadilly Circus.
There's Baker Street,
there's Baker
Kevin.
Street.
So this is Ticket to Ride London, the newest version of the kind of smaller, quicker games from Days of Wonder and Ticket to Ride.
All right, I think we're time to back to the couch.
Yes.
So we're almost wrapping up here. We still have to do our giveaway of Guardian's Call from Skybound and Druid City Games by James Hudson.
Did you guys pick some?
We are working on looking through the comments and picking a winner. We're
Well,
gonna roll a die
yeah,
to
we can do that in a
pick a
second.
comment.
I at the beginning of the video, I asked, "Where's everyone from?"
Okay.
And we got people from Florida, from Canada, all the way from France, I think Ohio. So that's pretty cool. All over the place.
Very nice. Awesome. Did you ask them how many of them were watching our show versus all the other live shows this morning?
Well, they're watching our show.
Oh, good.
They're commenting
If they're
there.
commenting, they're watching our show. Well,
So, of all the games that we showed today, maybe tell us which ones you're most interested in. I know some people, like, while we were playing them, were like, oh, this looks
Yeah.
really cool, or I think I might want to get this. But
sounded like people were liking Incubation. They liked the Draftosaurus, I think popped up a couple times. Someone said Trapwords, and I think someone said they're definitely getting Medium at Gen Con. So I would say Medium's a good one, definitely to get.
yeah, and Medium does have some more rules. We were just playing a
Oh,
very,
we've got
like,
Connecticut, New Jersey. So, we got UK.
Oh,
We just talked about Ticket to Ride London.
Whoa.
Texas, Charleston,
what time
North
is it
Carolina.
in the UK?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
what
it's
time
probably
is
in
it?
the evening.
Yes. Nella, what time is it in the UK right now?
about 6 hours-ish difference.
Is it?
Time for dinner? Is that what it is? Yeah.
6 hours. Okay, it's not too bad.
You can
I mean,
correct
that's
us.
just a guess. It might be a little more or a little less.
Canada here. Yep. Very cool. So, did we have someone? Did we roll a die?
We did,
Yes.
yes. And it is Jason Donahue.
Jason Donahue.
Congratulations!
Congratulations, Jason.
You win a copy of Guardian's Call, so send an email to Sarah
SARA.
at tantrumhouse.com. Give us your address and we'll get it in the mail to you. Congratulations on that one. Hope you enjoy it for sure.
Yeah. Any questions before we say goodbye? It looks like people are saying Draftosaurus, Medium, Draftosaurus, Incubation, Kushi. Medium was great. Trapwords. Yeah. So it sounds like those were some of the top ones.
No finger guns? Come on, where's the finger guns?
Well,
That's
you
'cause it
did
was
that
too fast.
first, so
Yeah.
maybe people
Rewind.
joined after.
Go watch Finger Guns. Watch me.
Finger Guns is definitely a party game
Yes.
for Will and Sarah.
It
Yes.
is. It is.
Our
Although,
kids
Ryan-
have played tons.
There was
Oh,
lots of fun to be had
Yeah.
there. Me, Kevin, and Melissa are going to be headed to Gen Con on Tuesday next week, so we'll hopefully see you guys there. Come say hi, come swing by.
Yep.
We are sending out backer rewards to all of our Kickstarter backers left and right. Sarah wakes up every morning,
Right.
prints 500 labels, and puts them in the mail. So
Oh, wow.
If you can't wait, and if you can't make it to our Gen Con meetup, which is Saturday night at 10 p.m. in the CGE room, if you can't make it there, you can always come by in the mornings. Melissa and I are volunteering for CGE, so you can come by and say hi. I know you're helping Renegade Game Studios out a lot.
the
so.
Renegade is in the afternoon, and I think Genius Games in the morning. So you
Okay.
should see us all over the place.
Great.
I think that wraps us up. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Be sure to tune in. I don't know what our next live is, but we'll have our normal Tantrum talks
Yeah.
coming up in a couple Thursday nights
Probably
from
do
now.
a Gen Con recap, right?
Definitely. And then be sure to subscribe to our podcast too. We have a lot of fun talking there and hanging out. And I think that does it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll roll out on that. I don't think we have any closeout music, so it's just going to go blank.